So, give all the love and give all the support to Socrates!
Yeah, keep it going there for Michael. Yeah, keep it going for Michael. Yeah. Normally I have a violin. I kind of liked masturbating too, but... Yeah, so my name is Socrates. I am an American. Hey, you guys must watch the news. I knew there was at least one thing we could do to wing you guys back, and it's halfway there. Yeah, the problem, in America, we found down the whole rabbit hole of politics. And as a Greek, I think people didn't understand what they were getting involved with, because politics, of course, is a Greek word. It comes from poly, which means many, and ticks, which is a blood-sucking parasite that spreads diseases. Politics. So I recently turned 57, or as the Dutch say, 75. Trust me. Appreciate you. That's what it feels like to be 57, by the way. Things take longer than you'd expect. I've been here now 14 years. I've been trying to learn Dutch because of, hey, it's a confusing language. The numbers are backwards, for one thing. But now it's already 13 months ago, I learned a word that changed my life, and that word was aangereden. They know the word. It's a life changer. It means to be crashed into. And in my case, I was aangereden door een scooterklootzak, which means I got slammed into by an asshole on a scooter. Yeah, there was this car that drove on a bike path, and the scooter staring at the car came onto my side. And just before he hit me, I wanted to explain to him what was happening, the mistakes everybody was making. I didn't have time, so I just said, ah! And then I flew, much like a bird. But I landed like an octopus. And I broke half of my arms. And appreciate that. If you can just get one person to appreciate you. You failed, but not as bad as possible, And they tried to get an ambulance. I dialed 112 because... make that mistake twice. It's 911 in America. But the operator asked me if I was going to pass out, and I said no, and they told me I should take a taxi. I thought about it for a moment. I said, I think I might pass out. And they sent me an ambulance. Worked out all right in the end. And the ambulance got there. He actually offered me fentanyl. And I'm an American, Don't tease me. Just give me the heroin. So I get to the hospital, the house of paracetamol, and they took a look at my x-ray and they went, which is not a reaction you want from a medical professional. And she offered me morphine. She said, would you like some morphine? Which is the greatest offer I'd had that day. I said, sure, I'll take a shot. Hey, when in Rome, And they gave me this blue strap. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's sort of a blue, sort of a strap. It's got some Velcro. I'm now collecting these things. Anybody have a blue strap? Anybody do a blue strap person? Nobody? If you've done it once? No. If you hurt your arm, this is what they give you, and they'll tell you it comes good. It's just like a useless Dutch phrase, I think, because it's not really medical advice, but they all love to say it. It comes good. It's optimistic, buy some time, and it's free. Yeah, they use conservative treatment, sent me home with Oxycontin, which, I got to be honest, that came in pretty good. And they told me I have to keep my arm mobile, so I was supposed to keep moving it, so I was like doing this because I can't really raise it but so much. And is in my backyard, waving to my neighbors, getting a really bad vibe from people, Yeah, they thought I was a Nazi. I explained to them what happened to me, and they thought I'm just practicing to be a Nazi. So I went back to the doctor. I said, doc, it's not coming good here. I cannot get my arm hard. I have arm erectile dysfunction. And the first step to coming good is getting it up. I can't do that anymore. And he said to me, well, helaas and pindakaas. Again, useless Dutch phrases, if there ever was one. It rhymes. It means, oh, well, peanut butter. See, it doesn't help to know what that one means, does it? It's completely useless, but it does rhyme, like prachtig, aramachtig, or something like that. I don't really know. My favorite rhyming Dutch phrase is noken in de koken, which is a real Dutch saying. It's unfortunately, it means fucking in the kitchen. Yeah, exactly. As a foreigner, I was confused. I learned that 3 months after coming to this country. An Oma told me that, a grandmother. Maybe I didn't understand what she was implying, I'm not sure. But if you combine noken in de koken and helaas pindakaas, I think you end up with satay sauce. And if you've never had satay sauce, when it comes up, think of me. Because it's pretty accurate, really. So basically, 8 months passed, and they finally did surgery on me back in November. They put 12 screws in my arm, piece of carbon fiber, and a bone from a dead Dutch guy. I don't know who he was. I didn't kill him. He'd had to have been pretty far gone for me to have taken him down. And they took some bone and bone marrow out of my leg. So I couldn't really walk for 4 months. So I'm using the stool today. And the Dutch have a word for this whole phenomenon too, which is, it's like a sigh, but with sarcasm, I think. There's like when you just miss a train, that's a good moment. I think probably the worst time to hear it is just before sex. Still better than after sex. So they finally agreed to they had to do more surgery. 4 months later, a couple months later, it turned necrotic, one of the worst words to hear your doctor say. And see, you can imagine. Trust me, I wasn't into it, And so they took it all out. They took out the 12 screws. They took out the bone from the dead guy. I killed a man for nothing. And they put in a reverse shoulder prosthesis about 3 weeks ago. It's not just a gag. Yeah, it's nasty, isn't it? And so I have now where the top of the arm used to have a ball, and then it goes into a socket. So where I had a ball, I have a socket, and where I had a socket, I have a ball. So I'm not sure if I have a trans shoulder. I'm not even sure if I should try that joke. But before this last surgery, I decided I should have a second opinion. And like everybody, I decided I should ask the Germans. Yeah, exactly, because let's face it, the Germans, they've already done all the experiments. So is Michael. So I went over to Germany, and I asked him, Aachen University, and they looked over my files, etc., and said, according to all this, your mother's Jewish? I said, yeah, just checking. Put me on the back foot. So I was asked about the arm thing, and I showed them, how much I could move, and they said, we don't do that anymore. And anyway, so I think that is my time. My name is Socrates. I'll see you again soon. Thanks so much.